Hi all, this is a high level view of how projects are going to use HubSpot and how it's going to come from a deal, which will come from a BDM or an account manager, over to projects and how they're going to manage it. This is going to be really beneficial because it'll do one of two things. One, it can help with communication in regards to the deal itself, what it includes. It will have the deal sheet attached, but also historical information about the deal itself. And on the other side, on the project side, it's also going to help them with a checklist of what they need to do for each one, so that if anybody is off or ill or anything like that, you should be able to keep that ticket up to date and in line with it being completed in time. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the deal itself. So this sits with BDMs or the account managers. So some of you might recognize this already. This is what a deal looks like in HubSpot, and it's broken into three sections. So the section on the right here is just all information about the deal itself in regards to who the deal owner is, a little bit of information about where it came from, what industry it is, and the address, and so on. On the right-hand side here is information connected to the deal. So we're talking about things like the primary contact, the company, and any attachments that we have here. So the attachments are going to be things like the call recording from when the meeting was booked, to potentially the proposal, to the deal sheet in here as well. And then in the middle here is all information about the activity of the deal. So this is things that the BDM or the lead generators will write in here. So for example, this is a test one that I've created. So a meeting has been booked, and in this scenario, it's 20 mobile SIMs. So this is kind of what that will look like. And then it will move over to, I've just stolen this from Hannah, but this will, what it looks like when they actually book a meeting, information after the meeting, and so on. I mean, I've made a little note here to say customer gone ahead, 20 mobile SIMs with O2, £300 per month. Obviously, that will be more detailed. But the good thing about this is you can see the whole historic activity that they've had with the deal previously. So this is just the deal side. We don't need to go into too much detail about this. It's more about what happens when it moves over to the project side. Now, with the deals that some of you might know, again, don't worry if you don't know at the moment, it has different stages. And one of the stages that it has is the closed one stage, or sometimes just called one. So I've put this into one as the deal has gone ahead. And what that does is it triggers a workflow that creates a ticket for the projects team. And the ticket will actually have all the information from the deal brought over to the ticket. So your ticket system is going to look something like this. And again, it's created to help you have a clear, defined process about how you're working your ticket from start, from the finish. And hopefully anybody can pick up that ticket if somebody is away or sick. So these are the deals, the ticket stages, that they'll have. So the first one's going to be unassigned. Then I'll move over to welcome call, order placed, install, handover, and completed. Okay. So every ticket will get popped into here straight away. So it's not assigned to anybody. So someone is going to be assigned to assign all of these deals, all of these tickets. For this example that I've just created, I've assigned it to Phil, which you'll see on the left-hand side here as soon as it loads. So the ticket owner has to be assigned, so it's given to Phil. And one other thing needs to be filled in here, which is really important here, which is the products related to this ticket. So for this scenario, it's 20 SIMs. So I've selected yes for mobile. Why this is important is it creates a workflow that triggers tasks specifically related to getting a mobile from into the projects team to completed. So a little bit further down here, you've got a checklist for mobiles as well. So you've just said, yes, mobiles are related to the ticket. It automatically then generates this checklist that we've created. So it's got a checklist here, but it's also got task sets as well, because you're obviously going to do a welcome call before you dispatch SIMs. So the first task that we have here is assigned to the ticket owner, which on this occasion is Phil, and it's a welcome call. It has more information about what you need to do further into the ticket as well. So for example, call or email the customer to introduce the project, confirm the SIM-only plan details, and verify the number of SIMs required. So what Phil's going to do is he thinks, okay, I'm on this ticket, test project deals 2024. Right, I need to do a welcome call. Now, he can look at this by going into his ticket, but there's actually another way that you can manage all of these tasks, because what we hope will happen is projects will get busier and busier with lots of different tickets that they're working on so that they can be completed. Now, the best way that they can manage that is actually go into the tasks section in HubSpot. And this is just a list of tasks that you have. So it looks something like this. I'll go into more detail and training when needed, but it generally looks like this. And for today, you can have a list of tasks that you need to do. So if you had 10 tasks here, you can start 10 tasks, you click onto it, and it looks exactly like this, except there's a little panel at the top here that lets you skip or complete a task. So what would happen in this scenario is Bill's going to have all the information about the deal. If you went to the attachments on the right-hand side here, he's also going to see the deal a sheet, which he will use to choose which one this is required for. But also any previous information that Phil needs to understand what's going on will appear on the actions here, so he knows what he needs to welcome. So once Phil has completed the welcome call, he'll just tick his task as completed. He'll also go down to his checklist and think, okay, yeah, done a welcome call, that's a yes, save. What that's actually going to do now is create the next stage in the workflow, which is the task for place order with supplier. So if he was to update his ticket, you'll already see that there'll be a new task created for the next thing that he needs to do. And that goes on and on and on until all the checklist is completed. And that would mean that you've confirmed the handover as well. So this is really going to help everybody make sure that they're doing what they need to do. And there is another task that comes on here. It should appear any second now. Please appear. There it is. So upcoming, this will be his next task. It loads. It should be any minute. HubSpot's not usually this slow. My laptop's horrendous, FYI. So he's got place order here. There's also a little bit of information about what needs to be done with specifically with mobiles. And then once he's done, again, he'll tick the task and tick the checklist and move down. Now, if there's more than one product, quite simply, he'll just select yes, and another checklist will appear down here, and multiple tasks will appear on here because they require multiple different things that need to be done on that task, which is brilliant. Now, I just realized I haven't mentioned this, but I don't want to record it again because this is the third time I've done it. What would also happen is whoever assigns the ticket will pop it into the first pipeline. So why that's important, and that's the pipeline that I was talking about previously, which is here, is because you get two views of how you're working. You've got this view, which is really helpful because for someone like Phil or anybody else that's working in projects, you can see, okay, we've got 3 unassigned, I need to get that done straight away. 4 are still waiting for their welcome call, 1 placed. Where are we? We've got 2 completed so far. And there are filters on here where you can filter them down by date and so on. And then your other view here is going to be tasks. And this is the main one I would say most of you are going to be working from to start with, because we've automated all the tasks that needed to be created for you. So really what you need to do is come in and look at the due date, start your task and move on with it. So this is really going to help make sure everything works in a timely manner and make sure that we get all the information over to you from the sales department into projects. And that's it.